All right. I'm somewhere up here in the Pennsylvania area. I thought I would bring the dog out and let her run around a little bit, but it is freezing out here. I mean, it is cold. I promised her earlier, I got out and walked in the Walmart, and then I was standing in line. Let me flip this. Yeah, I was standing in line in Walmart, and then they came and said, the power went down and everybody has to leave. So everybody had groceries and just everything that they were getting at Walmart that day, all piled in there. A lot of people too. And they just came and told everybody, leave all your stuff where it's at and you have to leave because their computers had went down. And they said that this happened a couple days ago too. Something about the power keeps going out on them. So I waited a few hours and walked back in there, and I promised little shit here that I would get her out and let her run around. But I mean, it's probably like 25 here. It's literally freezing. I'm going to show you how to put it all back together now.
So come away with me, nobody has to.
And here's what Michael's look like. His looks more like a street taco.
Degrees out here.
I was just calling to see if you're free to run away with me, to run away with me.
Hey everybody,
What's going
we're
on,
back.
people? Had to sit in the back on this one. It got dark on us, so.
Yeah, we're in Virginia at a Walmart. It's about 7:30, so it's dark and
Lighting's terrible up front, so.
freezing cold outside.
Yeah. Yeah, we figured we'd sit in the back this Saturday night and knock out another video.
Yeah,
Last we seen you guys, we were,
in Boston.
we did that load to Boston, and then we drove down to Pennsylvania, and you guys saw me walking Reesy out in the snow. And I think that's where we left off with you made us burgers that night. And
Yeah.
so let's pick up from there. And what was our next load?
We ended up getting a load out of Paulsboro, New Jersey, and we took that over to Haynesville, Kansas.
Give me a black motorcycle, give me playback on a vinyl and some cheap aviators from 65. Give me snakeskin boots, skull swaying like a noose, and I'll be clinging to the back of this Indian vibe. Brass rings in the center and a wind with a red sunset going down. There's no lines on a gravel road, riding where nobody goes. And I'm addicted to his leather and smoke. Give me a black motorcycle.
Well, I just got loaded. I got one piece put on here, and we're heading to Kansas City to drop it off. And it's supposed to be snowing, so wish us luck. I mean, this place was fast. I pulled in, they loaded me, and I'm done. So I'll catch up with you guys in a couple hours.
Around my neck, call it Bonnie and
Express, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know about Panda Express. I'm not telling you anything new,
Yeah.
but it's one of our go-tos.
Yeah.
We'll normally, if we know we're going to be eating fast food, we'll normally hit a Panda Express. If it's that or McDonald's or Burger King or something like that, 9 times out of 10, we're going to choose Panda Express.
Well, I mean, it is better than like McDonald's or Burger King or any of that.
Yeah,
And it's cheaper.
Yeah, you can go in there and get like a big plate with rice, chow mein, 3 entrees. And we get it all the time, and it ends up being about $23 to $24. I went in Burger King and got us 2 Whopper combos for $25.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Sometimes you want a Whopper, I get it, but you know, there's better options sometimes for the same amount of money.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather have the Panda, the rice and.
Yeah, Panda Express is good. Unless you get it and it's been sitting out there all day, it's good. But
Yeah.
I did film it. Still hadn't got used to filming in public that much. It's a little awkward, but I did film it. So.
The beautiful, as they call it, liquid.
Oh, we're on our way to do that Kansas load.
I
I just drove through Columbus, Ohio, and it's like 6 o'clock, and don't feel like cooking today, so I'm gonna run in this Panda Express over there. It's kind of one of our go-tos, Panda Express. But I'm gonna run over there and get us something for dinner. Hey, I have 2 different orders. The first one is going to be the 2 entree with fried rice, and both entrees beef and broccoli. And I want to do a 3 entree. I'll just do the kung pao chicken and the Beijing beef. And the orange chicken. I'm gonna do some of the teriyaki sauce. This gets double beef and broccoli. Got the kung pao chicken, the orange chicken, and Beijing beef. Because they didn't have the steak that I wanted, so. Alright, we're gonna eat and head back on down the road. See you guys in a little bit. That was good.
Yeah, it was good. Fresh. And the loaded on that was 1,333 miles. The deadhead was 89. And the truck made $3,305.61 on that. And we made $1,066.44.
Yeah, we took that load, but we also knew that we were going to be in for some bad weather because
it was calling for a lot of bad weather.
Yeah, you were looking at the forecast, and it was definitely calling for a storm.
Yeah.
Almost right on our route.
Yeah, it basically was. Yeah. I did a screen recording to show what the map radar looks like. We are taking a load over to Kansas. We are fixing to get into a pretty significant blizzard. It's calling for like 4 to 6, 8 to 10. St. Louis is going to get this. Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma is already getting it. But I do know that Indiana and Illinois is supposed to be getting some of the storms. So I know we're going to drop down into St. Louis and go into Kansas, so I'm not sure how bad it's going to be. But I put in the address of where we're going, and I mean, it is calling for like 4 to 6, 8 to 10 inches. So we will film it once we get over there and into the snowstorm.
Especially when I got over to
Indianapolis, Kansas, St. Louis.
Yeah, that whole area was pretty sketchy.
Yeah, they were getting slammed.
Going across some of those bridges in the snow, you know, I mean, some of these, if you drive for a living, you see some of these tractor trailer guys, they'll be driving 75 no matter what the weather is. But we don't play that. I mean, if it's like that, if it's bad weather and it looks like we might be slipping and sliding, we're going to crawl if we drive at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be a super trucker. I don't need that title. Like, I don't need to be in the ditch, because half of super truckers I see in the ditch.
Well, I was on the Kansas toll road and they didn't even scrape the roads. Like, the roads were bad. Like, the left lane, you couldn't even get in the left lane, and the right lane, like, everybody was trying to stay behind everybody because it was so bad. And we got in a backup because a tractor trailer had lost control and slid sideways across both lanes, and they were trying to edge us around, traffic around, to get around it, but the roads were awful.
Yeah, what sucks is when they get that bad, like, they usually, if they do anything, it's got like one lane clear. So everybody has to kind of stay in that one lane, and if you're the slow guy in that lane, which I typically tend to be, because I'm not gonna drive that fast if it's icy. I mean, and then you got all these crazy people try to go around you, and then you pass them later on in the ditch. But
yeah, but they wouldn't even clean like that because it snowed the night before, you know, and I got there that morning. Like, the only snow clearing was the cars in the right lane clearing, you know, just the fact that we had traffic. But they hadn't even had a chance to scrape them or anything. And a tractor trailer literally put his shit sideways out there.
And then you drop that load in Kansas.
Yeah. And then I went over to Knoxville, Iowa, and picked up, and then we took that to Mooresville, North Carolina.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, testify the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights. I love the way we vibe. You're like a Santa.
Thursday, and I'm picking up a load out of Iowa, and it's going to Mooresville, North Carolina. And it got down to -20 here last night, and my truck was froze solid when I got up this morning, and it took 4 hours to get my truck up to temperature to get loaded this morning. But we are loaded, and now we're heading to North Carolina. Just thought I would jump on here and fill everybody in on where I'm at, what I'm doing this morning. All right, I'll talk to you in a little while.
Yeah, right back where we live, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, not even 20 miles probably from where we live.
Yeah. And loaded on that was $9.85. The deadhead on that was $4.03. But it paid $2,500 to the truck, and it paid us $813.28. And the rate on that was $1.80 per mile. And I took that just to get us back over to North Carolina, because I knew that I would get a better load out of North Carolina. And we did.
Yeah.
Get a way better load. And I forgot to tell you guys on the first load, that load paid $2.32 a mile.
Yeah, after we picked that load up, I remember I think I took over in Peoria, somewhere around Peoria area.
Yeah,
after we picked it
Illinois.
up. Yeah. What's up, people? Well, we are sitting
We just crossed into Peoria, Illinois.
Peoria, Illinois. And we're on our way to Mooresville, North Carolina.
Yeah, and if anybody knows if box trucks are allowed on I-40 going east, let us know. Because I've heard that box trucks are allowed to take I-40 east. So if any of you guys are going that way, let us know, because we're having to route all the way around Kentucky to get to North Carolina.
Yeah, we've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, and it adds like almost 300 extra miles to do that.
You know, where the gorge is shut down through Asheville area. I'm sure if you drive, you know about it. But yeah, if anybody knows if straight trucks or box trucks can go through there, leave me a comment, please, and let me know, because it'll definitely save us some trouble.
Yeah, because right now we literally have to go all the way around the state of Kentucky and then drop down into Virginia, I think, to get into North Carolina. I just know it, like, we have to go all the way around, and that's a lot.
Yeah, we usually end up getting on 81 and taking it over to 77 and going south into yeah, we're at this Love's, and Becky drove us here. I'm fixing to take over. We got 830 miles left to do our drop tomorrow in Mooresville. And this was a pretty good load, and I'm sure we'll tell you about it if we haven't already.
Yeah, I was hoping to get more miles done if I didn't have to wait so long this morning.
Yeah, she picked up this morning, and what did the temperature have to be?
The temperature needed to be between 65 and 75 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and it was like negative 20 outside here in Iowa.
So basically, I needed to get the box up to 65 to 75 heat-wise. Warm it up to that.
And I was supposed to turn the reefer on before I went to sleep, and I kind of didn't.
So it was like negative.
Yeah. So this morning, just had to wait an extra few hours to get the box to warm up to the right temperature, because it was so cold outside. And even if I would have turned it on, it was so cold in the middle of the night, I don't know how much good it would have done, but...
Well, it never did reach the temperature. The guy ended up changing it from 65 to 60 just so we could get me loaded. But it just now at 12 o'clock reached the actual 75 degrees that it was supposed to reach. So...
I'm getting out all the freezer food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cold, it takes a while.
And our truck box was completely froze because we were in the snow in Kansas the whole day before. Like, the back doors were covered in snow when I dropped in Kansas. I literally had to break the doors off just to get them to open. They had so much snow piled up on them. But...
You know, I'm fixing to take over. I went in and I got a trucker breakfast, which is a beef stick and an energy drink. Best beef sticks in there, by the way. At least I don't have to drive in the snow today.
yeah, your mom sent me a video that it was snowing in North Carolina again this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it snows enough to turn the yard white, but then it just goes away.
Yeah. Well, I'll start to give you guys an update on where we're at. We actually already have a load booked for Monday, too. A pretty good load.
Yeah.
So we'll probably be spending the weekend at home unless some minis pop up that we can run and do. But then we have one booked for Monday that we'll tell you about that's actually a good load. These last few loads have been pretty good loads.
Finally.
All right. See you guys.
Typically, we don't take a load for like $1.80, but actually, they didn't. It wasn't even paying that. I called and asked them if they would pay like $1.80 on it, and I figured that if I took that load back to North Carolina, because every time we're home, I can get like good loads out of North Carolina. So I figured why not try to get $1.80 on that and get back out of Iowa area and get a good load, so.
Yeah.
And anything over $1.65 is still good.
Yeah. I mean, we shoot for like $2 at least, and normally we get that. Sometimes we get way more than that, but we do loads sometimes for a little less than that. It just depends on the situation,
Rare. It's very rare that we take a load like that, but I mean, I try to shoot for as big as possible.
Yeah.
But you don't always get that.
In some situations, it ends up sometimes being you're going to run for $1.80 or you're not going to run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So running for $1.80 today, dropping tomorrow is better than waiting a day or two for $2 a mile. It just is. I mean, every day that you're moving is better than the days that you're sitting.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I know on the way to Mooresville that night, once again, there was more snow over in the Virginia area. I remember when I stopped at the Loves late that night and got fuel. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I think we were switching.
Oh yeah, I had
shifts.
to drive the rest of the way in that mess.
Yeah, I remember I got out at that Loves and I filmed some of the snow.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cold and it was snowing. The roads were a little sketch there too.
Yeah, it was.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm in Virginia. It's definitely as cold as it looks. As you can see, it's snowing. I gotta do too much good to do this, but at least to get some of the salt off the window. We're delivering our load to Mooresville. Mickey's about to take over. It's only got like 100 and some miles left. We're gonna go home for the weekend till we get another load Monday. Be right back. I don't know if I look like I'm overdressed to you guys, but situations like this, you can either look cool or you can look warm. Considering it's like 7 degrees. That's why I was looking in Tractor Supply that day for something. Like these pants are a little bulky. Looking for something a little bit less bulky, but couldn't find nothing that day. Definitely snowing. Truck is filthy. We're at Wolf Creek, Indian Village. We gotta pull up. Walk around. The last several hours I've been driving, it's been snowing. Roads ain't been too bad, but it's definitely been snowing. Fixing to lay down, I guess, and Becky's gonna finish this load, so. Truck is a mess.
I had to finish driving down them mountains. I mean, I'll be glad when they get I-40 open back up, to be honest with you, because it is such a lot more miles having to go all the way around Kentucky to get down 77 to North Carolina, when typically you would cut through Tennessee and go to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Big difference too, several hundred miles difference.
Yeah, if any of you guys go that way, if you know if it's opened up or not, let us
It's
know.
open in one lane on March 1st. I saw it today on a video.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, they're opening it back up both ways, one lane on March 1st.
That's cool.
But how long are you going to sit in traffic? You know what I mean? Can you imagine the traffic trying to get through one lane?
Yeah. Probably still won't go that way for a little bit.
They said that it's going to be years before they have it completely fixed. They said that it wasn't going to take as long to get it fixed, but I think like a week ago, another so half a mile fell in. So another whole part of the road fell in. Yeah, another whole part fell in.
That's a shame, 'cause
So
that's a beautiful area.
now they have to go.
Whole gorge, Asheville area. It's amazing through there.
Yeah, now they have to go in and fix all of that fell in also. So
I didn't even know that.
yeah, that happened in January. They were going to open it back up January the 1st, one way, both ways, and then part of the road fell in.
Yeah.
So now they're having to fix that too. So they said it could be years before they actually have it all up and make sure it's all safe. You know.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know. I'm ready for it to be fixed right now.
Yeah. I mean, you dropped that load in Mooresville, and we pretty much just went home for the weekend. 'Cause
Yeah.
Why not? You know, we're 20 miles away. Not even that.
Yeah, I dropped it that morning and literally went straight home. I think I was like 14 miles from home, to be honest with you.
And on that load, we got there, like, for some reason, our liftgate, that was a liftgate load. And when
Yeah.
we got there to deliver, we couldn't get the liftgate to work. Why?
It would
I don't
not
know.
work.
There's
has-
a little switch on the dash up there, and it just wouldn't light up. It wouldn't have no power.
Yeah.
So she got me up, and I got out and looked at everything. I know that we never had a liftgate on our truck before, so I really didn't know too much to troubleshoot.
Yeah.
But I got out and looked at everything that I could look at to see if I could figure it out. I maybe if you have a liftgate, you know, there's like a little breaker on the battery, little black box that trips. Maybe that's gone bad. I'm not sure, but
We've never had a lift gate, so we really don't know where the power is, you know.
luckily they were
Coming
able.
from.
They had something that they could get the pallets off the truck with. We went on home, and I tried troubleshooting it a little bit while we were home, trying to figure out what was wrong with it. I did film a little bit of that. Well, here is today's problem in trucking. We have a liftgate on this truck. And right here is the switch for it. When I turn that on, this little button should light up red showing that there's power. And it doesn't. So there's no power to the liftgate. We know this because we just had a liftgate load and we got there and the liftgate wouldn't work. So that was kind of a problem. You know, we finished that load, we ended up getting it off and we finished the load. So I'm gonna see if I can figure out what is going on with this and why there's no power to the liftgate. I did look at that little black box on the batteries. Not sure what that's called, like a breaker or something for liftgate, but to see if it was tripped. And from what I could tell, it wasn't. I'm gonna look at it again and maybe check the fuses in here to see if there's a fuse in here that goes to this. I'm not sure, but we'll see what we can figure out. But
Ultimately, we just hotwired it.
yeah,
For now, until we can get it into a shop. I mean, we are going to take it into a shop.
I'll show you what I did to it. If I think I filmed it, but I got it. It's working. All right, guys. Let me show you guys what I did. This is the switch right here for the liftgate. As you can see, this little light should come on if there was power, but there's no power. So what I did was, if you look right there on the switch, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it says power, load, and ground. So I disconnect the power, and then I took like a jumper line right here, and I hook this end to my battery, and I'm gonna hook this end to the switch. And see, now we got power. So that tells me the problem is somewhere in this line right here. And I think it's going that way across the truck to the fuse box, I think. I'm not sure. So need to try to track it down, because we tested it. I did this and Becky went back there and tested the liftgate, and it does work with simply jumping it like this. So we just need to try to track this wire down and see if we can figure out why it's not giving the switch power. I don't know if there's a fuse somewhere in there or what, but that's definitely the issue. Let's see if we can find it. So it's fixed and it's not at the same time. So that's pretty much all we did, really. Mess around with that, just relax for the weekend, and then
Just got everything cleaned back up. The same thing you do every time you go home, really.
yeah.
Just get all your bedding washed, all your clothes washed.
We already had a load. She already had us a load for Monday before we even went home. So
Yeah.
we knew we were leaving Monday morning.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you about that on the next video.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Getting ready to go outside and work on the truck. Nothing weird going on here. Just a normal day of just tying my shoes.
Did you get both of them? That's every time you put your shoes on. It doesn't matter where we are. Yeah, let's see.
Time my shoes.
She get you?